get back to this thing here before the chat gets any weirder right off the bat, and I don't have to mess with the sound at all.
Snark, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, right?
There we go.
Because what I've tried to say through the video is this is what online commentary is. Is that, you know, does that mean I'm co-signing that online commentary automatically if I do
Yes.
that?
If you don't,
And the way you use that, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back just a little bit because apparently this is where it gets a little more juicier. So obviously we're picking up where we left off last time. So they're basically having a conversation discussing Madison's video, and she's doing a piss poor job of defending herself, and that's basically where we're at. So now you're all caught up if you missed it. I do have this posted over on EG Lately Live. If you missed the first half, watch that before you watch this, or you could just watch this if you're a rebel.
People being super understanding and caring, and like never weaponizing that or making me feel other for that. Until I met these snarkers who now have used it, including Anissa and this guy here especially, who have used it as a point of criticism. My neurological disorder I was born with that I can't control, that has been
Tourette's,
a huge obstacle in my life, sitting in front of a camera with this.
That coughing is part of that.
Is participating in the weaponization of a truly debilitating neurological disorder I've got, right? And this is I have never been the victim of this. I would never even, imagine of accusing someone of being ableist when it comes to me. But you truly are participating in an ableist harassment campaign that presupposes that my uncontrollable neurological disorder, Tourette's, is the result of drug abuse.
That's true. She did say that he was using drugs. That was part of the first part of the video. That if you missed the first half of the video, they got in this whole discussion about how she knows somebody on meth or whatever. And I guess she's trying to say that like Ethan's on meth because he has Tourette's or whatever, which I think is like craziness.
I mean, first I want to say I'm really sorry about that, that, people have been weaponizing that and that you feel that way.
Oh, she also says, like a bajillion times in this, so.
You weaponized it.
But I do want to ask, do you think, and this is, I guess, where I do feel like sometimes the use of this idea that using from one source could be essentially a thought terminating cliche. I want to ask, do you think that me using a clip from something is co-signing whatever is on that clip?
Well, it depends, right?
Oh, by the way, for those of you guys who weren't here for the last stream that we covered this, there are so many. She's a good friend of Savannah, and you guys know Savannah, right? You guys are most of you guys found me through my original engagement with Savannah. This has Savannah co-signed all over it, and the same thing that Savannah did to Pierogi is what Madison tried doing to H3, except H3 is a lot meaner than Pierogi is. So this is exactly something similar where you take everything out of context, plaster it all over the internet, although it was something it's not, and then most of her sources come from Reddit and H3 snarkers. So
all of the you know what I mean?
Depends
like
what's in the clip.
The anti-MLM community. So Sweet knows Madison came originally from the anti-MLM community, and she said that she abandoned doing anti-MLM because she felt bad about going after the Hun bots. So, as you guys know, a Hun bot is somebody who is just simply selling an MLM product, multi-level marketing, pyramid scams, and a lot of times they're just innocent people who get sucked into it. So.
Sometimes I could be using that
using
clip
unedited
not
footage,
always
different context.
or are using a clip what has a clear editorial perspective. Because if you are using a clip with a clear editorial perspective, then you're obviously co-signing the footage if you're not correcting it, right? If you're just like you can source from Snark. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, right?
Because what I've tried to say through the video is this is.
If you go back and watch Madison's video, she never mentions Snark one time though. That's the problem. Dude, Robbie, I actually said that last time that that's the blowjob chair. That's that's literally what I said. Go back and watch it if you don't believe me. She got close to Savannah after Illuminati stuff with her. Yeah, I know. She was on Savannah's channel and stuff, but like Madison, I don't know. These girls don't care about the truth. They care about clicks. And I'm pretty sure that Madison thought at some point this was going to be a slam dunk for her because nobody likes Ethan Klein, but that's because she probably lives in echo chambers where everybody in that particular echo chamber doesn't like Ethan Klein. 110% the cum chair, though, by the way. I think that we all can agree there. But you know, at the end of the day, she's lying. She didn't source her stuff completely. She actually has a bunch of people who probably are in the H3H3 snark that actually collected a lot of this information for this particular video. And she sits down, she reads the information they gave her, gives her a bit of her opinion, paints it in a specific light, sends it off to an editor, and then they post it. I don't think that she really was as hands-on because I think that she's big enough now to where she just lets her team put together her stuff. But at the end of the day, it falls back on her because she's the one saying all this stuff.
Is what online commentary is. Is that, you know, does that mean I'm co-signing that online
Yes,
commentary
100%
automatically if I
means
do
it.
that?
Yes.
If you don't,
and the way you
if
use
you
that,
don't
yes.
go on to add another opinion of your own, like this is what people are saying, but of course it is baseless, or you know, people are throwing crazy accusations.
You did co-sign
But
it
then,
literally
you know,
in the
it's-
video. You did.
She did.
Literally. In the
Absolutely.
setup to that clip, you literally co-signed it.
If you
I don't
just
think
use
I
it
did.
without any critical explanation, then yeah.
She claims that she was like being unbiased, but you could see the video is incredibly biased against Ethan Klein. Maybe one day we'll sit down and watch the whole thing. I don't know, but it's a 3-hour video, so I'm like signing up for like a long freaking video if I watch that. But really bad. It's not great. She's obviously, you know, was bad faith in putting this video together, and it's coming back to bite her in the booty now.
Yes, you are.
Like imagine I'm going to
Depends
use
how you use it.
I'm going to use something really hyperbolic, right? So forgive me, and I'm not accusing of this, but imagine if
Exactly.
I wanted to make a point about socialism and nationalism, and I really wanted to impart the importance of that. And in doing so, I pulled up a clip of Adolf Hitler. And again, pardon the extremity of it, but I don't criticize it. I just go, this is a great commentary from Adolf Hitler about the need for social cohesion and nationalism and socialism, and I think that we can all draw from. And I don't give any, and I'm just like, here's Hitler, right? He's making a great point. I mean, clearly, people would see that as a clear endorsement of Adolf Hitler, right? You wouldn't be like, you know, hey, I didn't endorse the guy. Like it would clearly be an endorsement of Adolf Hitler for me to
But
just.
again, it's, you know, as opposed to, I can't use that same example, but
So basically, the point that Ethan's making here is that she's sourcing all her material from Snark. That's where she got a lot of her information, was from the Snark Reddit, and she claimed and she sourced it as though it was coming from Ethan's. She didn't mention the word Snark one time. She said all this stuff came from Ethan's own H3H3 Reddit, which obviously is not true. Snark is an anti-H3H3 Reddit. So that's why he was using that. So she's trying to say that I'm not co-signing it because I'm just citing what people are saying. Well, then if that's the case, then I can go find the most outrageous claims on X and use them in any capacity I want to paint a narrative to make anybody look bad, you know?
I'm trying to think of a similar example to use because but you know, if it's someone has said this,
This is so
here's
funny.
a clip of this being said, or people became concerned of this behavior, this type of behavior, here's a clip of this. You know what I mean? It's not the same as kind of the example that you just said.
But you
know?
never
At least I
inserted.
don't-
You never insert another opinion or
I
an opposing
agree.
opinion.
Yeah, she
So
does
it
not.
I agree.
seems like you're agreeing with it. If
I agree that,
your whole video is siding
That's
with
true,
that
sweet
one
God.
side, even though you're saying that's what the internet is saying.
Again,
There's
my
there's many on the internet that are saying the other thing, but you're ignoring that. So
You showed
Yeah,
a
I think-
clip implying I'm on drugs, and then you didn't say anything else. Like, of course you're co-signing it. Why else are you showing it?
Snark is a minority. Our audience does not think that Ethan is on drugs.
I mean, nobody have saying.
Most people don't think Ethan's on drugs. One, because he's a father, even though that doesn't stop like a lot of drug addicts from being on drugs. But most people know that it's very well documented that Ethan has Tourette's, and that, you know, when you first find him, you may say, why does he do that, like those tics and stuff? And as soon as you find out he has Tourette's, you go, oh, okay. And then they usually leave it alone after that. Most people don't go, well, no, I don't think that's Tourette's. That's got to be drugs. No, unless you're trying to get clicks. That's Madison. So this is why she's absolutely 100%, 10% killing her career. That's what a smear campaign is. It's just a lie that seems plausible enough to believe, and you end up with chaos that they're accustomed to. Yep, you're right.
In mind, thinks I'm on
don't
drugs.
think you're on drugs either. But
But
again,
don't you
my-
see?
the
you're
point of
gonna
the
say this
video,
out.
You're conveying to your audience that I am maybe on drugs by
the
using
point
that
of the
clip.
video is to show the sort of essentially your reaction, the online reaction. I think where I went wrong, is I think that I could have dove further
You said
into
initially
that.
you didn't even know
some
why
of
the clip was
legal,
there.
I think I could have dove further into that.
She also skips a lot of stuff that Ethan says. Like, she'll act like he just didn't say it and then say her own thing so that, you know, she doesn't have to respond to it. Because there's been a couple times where Ethan specifically have said, like, something to Madison about this, and, like, it's a good gotcha, and she just acts like he didn't say it at all.
Some of the legal, aspects that are going on currently, kind of showing your response, their response, things
Yep.
that are happening.
Well, this was directed, this was directed towards Hassan's audience. So she knew she was targeting Hassan's audience to rally behind her. But the one thing that you can always count on is that Hassan's audience is going to rally behind Hassan, but nobody else that's in Hassan's circles.
I brushed over that as well, kind of saying that, kind of the very start of that and not further going into that. So I think I should have, gone further into that as well. Essentially, my intention was this is what's happening online,
But you didn't show what's
I
happening
agree.
in our
I should
community.
have. Exactly. I should have,
Okay.
I also agree with that.
But she sold it like it was all happening in Ethan's community, because she kept saying this is H3's Reddit. This is all coming from H3's own Reddit, his own fans, when it clearly wasn't. H3H3 Snark is an anti-H3H3 Reddit. All of it's designed to go against everything that H3H3 does.
Too, especially for that particular section. I do think that there are a lot of times when I include H3 Productions or r/H3 Productions posts, but to essentially show same thing when I show opinion pieces, I should try to show, especially with something so contentious and divisive as this topic, I should show two sides. But again, also with that idea of there's no way to be unbiased.
Oh, yeah, she does look like
If
Savannah. I think she's a lot prettier than Savannah. I'll say that much.
I feel like also,
would-
can I put myself in this rabbit hole where I'm just endlessly trying to be unbiased and I'm
But I will give her more credit than Savannah, because Savannah would never have gone on this show. Never.
putting up just you can sort of pinhole yourself into where you're trying to provide every single side.
Yeah,
and
but you didn't even
But
come
you know
close.
what I
That's
mean?
not a problem that
You're-
you're close to brushing on.
Your words don't match the action. It doesn't. You're saying you're endlessly trying to be unbiased, and you haven't
I'm saying
tried
moving
once.
forward.
Yeah.
You haven't tried once in this video to be unbiased.
She has
It's just
not.
the words that you're saying sound great, but the action is
I
like.
do think I don't think that's entirely fair either. I don't think that's entirely fair.
Yeah, that is fair. Anybody with two brain cells that they can rub together know exactly what you were going for here, Madison. You were looking to, get a easy score against H3H3, collect Hassan fans, show that you're this hardcore lefty and that everyone should love you because you're on their team. But unfortunately, in doing so, you expose the fact that, one, your research is absolutely terrible. Two, you're a bad faith actor. Three, you don't do research. And four, you say every 5 seconds.
Either with this video.
What's up,
I think there's
Caro?
many times that I
Thanks
do try
for
and look at your
joining the
side, and
TikTok.
I think that's a mischaracterization. Either you didn't watch the full video, or that's
When did
kind
you
of.
do you remember a specific moment in your video
I
where
think
you empathized?
the iDubbbz situation is is one of the most prominent ones in my mind. I essentially
We can pull
agree
it
with
up.
your
I'm
point.
curious what that looks like.
I
Can
agree
you
with
tell
your
me a
point that-
specific sentence so we can search the manuscript?
Yeah, I mean,
Or just like a word?
I could go off of my
Or which
research
part?
itself.
Oh yeah, you can do
Let
that.
me know when I need to put on the
You want to put
like-
on the lights? You
She's so worried about how she looks on the video. I have so much trouble trying to just trying to follow her chain of thoughts. It's like she threw a bunch of words in a bingo ball and she's just putting sentences together that way. You're not wrong. It does feel that way. It does honestly feel that way. That she's just. I think she's just so nervous, and I don't think that she's got a response for everything. I think that she thought that she was a lot smarter than she was, because there's no way that I would ever go on H3H3 knowing that the stuff that's in my video is not true. Like, it's just, I would never put myself in that position. You're committing like reputation unaliving at that point.
you can. You still look fine, but you can put on the lights. You want
Yeah,
to?
I'm just
You know
saying-
what? I really need to pee. If you want to take like a quick break and to
Okay.
adjust the lights or something, but also you look fine too.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell like what it
Okay,
would look like, but it is the
so
sun's
we're
gonna set in
skip
like probably.
ahead.
Your page and sourced from you. I believe mostly the Palestine and downward spiral chapters. Appreciate your coverage greatly.
All right. So this is where they come
I
back.
can't even. One thing I wanted to ask you about again, about this specific account, content crash out. You said, "I appreciate you." As you probably know, I've been following your page and sourced from you. I believe mostly the Palestine and downward spiral chapters. Appreciate your coverage greatly. You said. Now this person is singularly obsessed with me and Hila, and specifically about my Jewishness. And like deranged conspiracy theories of the most obscene order.
Yeah, because Ethan like lives in reality, as where Madison thought that, you know, she could do no wrong when it came to whatever she said people would believe, and I think that she used that as a weapon.
So,
Never thinking
Yeah,
Ethan
I
would
mean-
call
do
her
you,
out.
so do you think? Do you agree? So you follow this person closely?
Look, so this is what she says. Appreciate you, as you probably know, have been following your page and sourced from you. I believe mostly the Palestine and downward spiral chapters. Appreciate your coverage greatly. So Ethan's literally pointing out like this person is obsessed with like shitting on me. So it's pretty clear, you know, this is who she's sourcing. People who are anti-Ethan. So there's no way that you could sit there and say that she's not a bad faith actor. And Ethan is absolutely crushing her right now. I'm going to let this play for a little bit because this is about to get really bad for her.
So I would say that, again, the videos that I sourced from them were not,
Not yet,
you know,
Summer.
again, I can't speak to
Ethan would be
you know,
considered a commentary bro.
what you feel like are really offensive videos. Sorry, not to say what you feel like, but I feel like, you know, again, I haven't seen all of their videos to know.
Okay. I just confusing because you said, "I've been following your page and sourced from you." I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
yeah, sure. Maybe you didn't see all their videos by that.
Yeah, like the reason why I said that is I feel like on TikTok you can probably see when a creator like saves a video, you know. So I just felt like they could probably
Oh.
see that, you know.
So you
and
saved the
as
video
you
though.
could
You
see,
said the editor put it in.
Oh, got her.
the
He just got her right there, dude. Oh, my God. Caught her in a lie.
the one that again I wasn't sure about the zoom in, whether that came from
That was in their
you know, an
video.
editor
That was
or-
from the one you
It's
downloaded.
identical. It's from this
She blamed it on her editor about an hour ago. Nothing gets by this man.
video.
Yeah, no, exactly. So what I was going to say is I wasn't sure if that came from an editor, but now looking at it, it's clear it came from this page itself. So what probably happened is, again,
Rudy was
What probably happened is I was probably lying and trying to get myself out of this shithole that I'm in right now.
no,
that-
added a
Sorry.
timestamp. Added a timestamp
Oh, now you can't see the
into
stain,
my script,
though.
you know, from that I saved it, added it in. So yeah, it was.
Is this where
it
you
was-
heard that
was on
Hila
me.
called babies terrorists? Because this person
Palestinians are
also.
taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
They made
Yeah.
this
So
stuff.
again,
Yep. There it is.
2 years old.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah. Do we have that
I
one?
mean,
Like Kamala. That's
so
not really
you know,
a fair edit.
to be completely and totally honest, there was multiple pages and sources that have shown
Sure.
that clip.
Yeah, I believe that, actually.
Multiple sources. You know, and that's where it's hard. Again, going to the original source. You know, because
Do you
I
see
saw
how many videos this person's made
multiple-
about me? Does this look healthy? Honestly, if you're sourcing from them, I'm
That is nuts. Can you imagine if I did that many videos like about Savannah or about the pierogi situation? I would look crazy. Crazy. That is obsession personified. Every video. Ethan. Ethan Hila. Ethan Hila. Ethan. Ethan, Hassan, Ethan. That is nuts. iDubbbz, Ethan. What the frick, dude?
I'm concerned. Like literally, can you
So
see all
again,
these?
Specifically,
Oh,
that
I'm-
video that you
Oh, yeah,
saved
she's
and
shivering.
included in your video,
She-
just like
The crazy thing is, though, personally, Summer, though, I think Madison thinks she's doing well. That's the scary thought, is I think Madison thinks she's actually doing well here.
scroll through the comments. All the comments are about how Ethan is a drug addict. And
That was a
specifically
plot
that
twist.
zoom on the tattoos, there are comments about it. Is that
I
from
mean, again-
scratches?
Are
Is
you
that
seeing
from
this?
injections of drugs? Like, that is in the comments. So, but it's interesting to me that you chose to save that video and include it.
Oh, this one they're calling Hila a Nazi for getting a Star of David tattoo. Watch this
Everything that's
one.
been going on and what I'm going through, I almost feel like I want to do it the most in your face possible way that I can, and I feel like
sure.
I kind of want to tattoo a blue Star of David on my hand.
Blue. Have you showed this on the show that you got the Star of David
Not
tattoo?
yet. Today's my
This
first
is
time.
it.
The comments were very interesting. We got lots
To
of
be
mixed
100%
reviews.
fair,
Mixed reviews meaning like
you guys
Sorry.
have called me
To be 100% fair, she's cutting off the video because she doesn't want them to finish it.
a Nazi.
Say what?
To be 100% fair, you guys have called me a Nazi.
Well, we can get
you
into
know?
that if you want to. We can definitely get into it. And I mean, one of the reasons that I called you that is something you edited out of the video, which was you said
Yeah,
that
which-
I was.
Everybody
But
is.
to-
You said I
um,
was.
but
In,
to
you said I
finish-
was imparted
The
at
word
birth
means
with.
Yeah.
that word literally means nothing anymore because it's been beaten into the ground. Everybody is a Nazi at this point.
with Israeli ideals and indoctrinated at birth as an American Jew. That's fucking insane. That's like super offensive, deeply anti-Semitic.
which-
So obviously,
which
are you
I
a
didn't-
Nazi? No, but like my point was that that was an extraordinarily anti-Semitic view to hold. Something that's very popular amongst Nazis, neo-Nazis, American neo-Nazis, etc.
Which I would love
The
to have
dual-
a conversation about that. As far as this page goes, I think that
Definitely
again,
correct.
going back to my point of wanting to cover what is the internet saying, but I do think again,
You're not covering it though, Madison. You're painting it like everybody's thinking this way when it's clearly not the case. In fact, a small minority think like this, and that's who you're targeting. That crowd.
because funny enough, my neighbor is a journalist and a writer, and we're talking about this and essentially how online forums, you should stay away from in general, if you want to sort of have good coverage. So I think that was a really positive conversation sort of about this. I do think that
Thank you for
again,
the ice cream,
it's hard when
Timey.
it comes to covering internet situations though, because you can't she was kind of talking about as a journalist how often she goes directly to a source. How does that translate online?
I mean,
How
you
do
didn't ask-
find-
you didn't reach
Well,
out to me one
we have
time.
hours and hours and hours of footage every week. Like,
Yeah, but
you
also
could
you
watch
didn't
our
reach out
show.
to me when you were
All
in-
the sources are on the internet, and as well as, for example, the Trisha fallout, it was all documented. Like, pretty much
Painfully.
all the stuff you're talking about are stuff that are online available.
But also, you didn't reach out to me.
Get
once
that
during
bird
the
back
making
here
of
with
the video.
popcorn.
Again, so as I'm moving forward, but I mean, let's talk about the likelihood of like how likely would you have responded. In the past, I've sort of written it off as like people are not going to respond if I reach out to them for comment.
So you don't try? I mean, it sounds
I've
like
tried a
when
few
you
times in the
started.
past,
I mean, that's
but-
true,
It
though.
sounds like when you
That's
started
fair.
talking about it that you're doing a video about us. Some of our fans were also your fans, and they even made a post about it. So it's very much doable, actually.
I do
'Cause
think
the
I
word
could've,
got around. The word got around through our subreddit, which we do check regularly.
I mean,
To be
I
honest-
understand your point, though. I think a lot of creators probably either wouldn't see it or wouldn't respond. So understand what you're. I understand,
yeah.
like in general.
To
the
be
point you're
honest,
making,
though,
but-
that is something that I could have done is reached out to someone for an opinion piece.
She didn't want to do that though. She didn't want to reach out because that would completely go against her narrative. She's only saying that now because she's getting called out for this. She knew that she could have reached out for them for comment. She's a big enough channel. Like, he wouldn't care. If I reached out for comment, they wouldn't give me no comment. But her channel's big enough, they might have listened. But I don't think she wanted to do that, though. I don't think she had any intention of getting a different side because she was painting this as a hit piece. This is what it is, a hit piece.
One-on-one messaging, that kind of thing. That being said, as far as online opinion,
We know a hit
pieces,
piece when
online
we
sort
see
of,
one, don't we, guys?
edits that are sort of very clearly opinion based or that kind of thing. I should base my if I want to include that in the first place, I should sort of base my research all on original sourcing and then sort of go through and
No
okay,
rocks
this person,
tonight.
this online comment
Everybody
feels
stay
this way,
human.
include that. This person feels this way, include that. That's sort of my conclusion from the matter. I think that's kind of, but that was my intention with that, is showing, online commentary and online clips. A lot of times when I included this person, it's
I
not
don't
like,
believe her.
This
I don't
is
believe
what
her for a
happened. I
second.
mean, at least that's what I hope it was. I mean, I can look through and do a 100% review, but it's like, okay, this is the commentary happening online.
So- I want to finish this because this one, I just want to finish this video. This one here
Oh,
with the
racist
Star
people.
David tattoos.
Jessica Klein reposted comparing a keffiyeh to a swastika.
I mean, clearly people were very supportive because it had a lot of likes and it did well in the subreddit.
I
so
don't know
it's
what
really
my
nice
sister retweeted. I find it weird that they're including what my sister does on social media.
to see people are
Yeah, I
encouraging,
think
like,
that's going on.
you know, not backing down and embracing your identity.
Yeah.
Someone now got a worse tattoo than Ethan. I mean, that's kind of funny.
Do
It is
you-
also
Can
racist,
I
though.
ask something?
I just want to finish the clip.
Could have gotten this tattoo at any time, but chose it. Yeah, of course. Of course, you get a tattoo when when you feel like you want to express pride in your heritage. Now's the best time to do it. I would absolutely do it too.
The fuck is
I'm just
this?
thinking
I don't even.
Branded satellite shows Star David carved into Gaza.
of a different way to do it.
I mean, it's none of your
What's that have to do with?
business when I want to do a tattoo of my heritage. How is that anything that you should even
Yeah, it's like if I got a tattoo of a Celtic cross because I'm Irish, does that mean I'm all of a sudden like I don't know, like a leprechaun? I don't know. The same way Sav said she reached out to P, and because he doesn't respond to people he doesn't know, she claimed he knew about it. Yeah, she did say she reached out and he didn't answer, but Hina reached out too, and we saw how that went, and that's when Pierogi cut her off. They just wanted to have a big creator involved in the video. That's simply all it came down to. Now I don't know whether or not H3H3 would have actually responded. I'm American, but I got Irish heritage. Like I'm from, like my family came from Ireland. Yeah, who could tell? No, I don't know. Who could tell? But yeah, so I can understand why I guess she wanted to do it, but I guess given the toxic situation at the moment, maybe not the best idea. But
Even have a-
she literally served, for that. I mean, it's mandatory, so I don't know if she wanted to or not, but
an opinion on? Yeah, I'm changed after October 7th. That was a really traumatic moment
you're
for
cool,
all
Mike.
the Jewish people.
Congrats on the tattoo. I love
I could
it.
be English though. I could be English. I could be Russian. You never, a lot of different white people out there.
Thank you.
Now, if you go to the comments, I miss when Hila didn't talk. Racist, lol. I'm so embarrassed I ever watched them. Being Jewish is not a race. That's, by the way, not true. And also, another Nazi talking point. The line's not being straight. I mean, whatever. It was hand.
Sandra at the beach says, I mean, a lot of people who are Christian, Catholic are evil. We don't villainize everyone who has cross tattoos. Fair point. There has been a lot of really bad Catholic priests, but I don't think that's a representation of all the Catholics in the world, With that hat and ginger, not sure. I'm not ginger, actually. This is brown. This is like dirty blonde hair. It just probably looks that way because of the tint of the light. But I'm actually, light blonde, I guess.
drawn. Everything she goes through equals Vanilla Mace not liking her fashion brand. Hila Klein, please tell us what the blue signifies. The star, it signifies the color that the Star of David is, like in art, traditionally since like thousands of years.
Well, because right now, with everything that's going on in Palestine, I'm pretty sure that the Star of David is considered taboo because, they're committing a genocide over there, which I don't argue with. I mean, but it's not a good situation at all. And I guess to have that right now, even though it could be a part of your religion and you could be Jewish and against what's going on over there, people look at that and just automatically assume. Nobody thinks like critically anymore. It's always, oh, I saw that. Oh my God, I cannot believe you would put something like that on your body, regardless if you are Jewish or not. How dare you? Like, that's how angry and aggressive people are these days. Everybody thinks they know way more than everybody else, including me. I think I know more than everybody else too, and I don't. It's it's obvious.
A pentagram would have been more fitting.
So all I
A
do is share what I
pentagram.
think I
That's
know.
like the Star of David is like the cross for Jews, right? It's the same type of thing. This
Exactly.
person said
As you said in the
she should have got
chat.
a pentagram instead of the Star of David.
I wanted-
And then you went on to write on this person's account that
Poor sweet catching
you support
strays.
them and you source them and you're a fan of their work. Do you disavow content crash out?
I mean, again,
It's a yes or no question, Madison. It's a yes or no question. Thank you, Draco, for the 5 roses. I don't understand why she has to think this long about it. Do you disavow them? Yes or no? That's what I would say if I was Ethan. No, I don't want to hear some obligatory explanation. Yes or no?
I don't agree with that particular video.
our first ever.
You know,
But it's all their videos are like that.
Someone who's capable of making such a video is clearly deeply unwell. Like, to accuse a Jewish person of doing something wrong by getting a Star David tattoo is just a symptom of someone who's deeply, deeply, deeply unwell.
I would agree.
I just do. I mean, this is not a good person, right? Like,
Plus, he calls his channel Content Crash Out, and it's all Ethan, all of it.
I just, like, can you admit that?
No, she don't want to.
I think that,
you know why she's not is because she doesn't want all these people turning on her. So she's in a lose-lose situation right now. Either she looks incredibly stupid to the rest of the internet and they dislike her, or she looks like she's actually reasonable, and then the people who are unreasonable start disliking her. So at this point, she's just trying to not, and she's gonna probably go on some rant about how she was bullied by Ethan, even though he's made it clear to her several times if he felt like if he was being too aggressive or too assertive, to let him know and he would calm down. But right now, she hasn't said anything like that. Yeah, and the swastika was stolen from, I thought it was stolen from like a Muslim type religion or Buddhist or something like that.
But in general, I am still learning a lot about anti-Semitism. I've learned a lot within the past few days.
That does okay. It doesn't. What does it matter what you're learning about anti-Semitism? I don't know a whole lot about it, and I can see how wrong your video was and how incorrect it was factually. Like, what does that have to do with anything? She's just taking these weaves and bobs and trying everything she can to get out of this situation.
Speaking on the topic, I feel wildly uncomfortable. I am learning a lot about it.
This person is anti-Semitic, and take it from me as a Jewish person.
Even this statement alone is so incredibly frustrating, considering you just made an hours-long video about Ethan and I.
Yep.
We talk about anti-Semitism so much.
It's the reason why
it's
people
the reason
hate us
why
so
all
much.
of
this is happening.
Can I offer? So I did write a little bit of something just because I feel like I don't want to misspeak or anything on this sort of subject. At least this is coming from my perspective. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. At least for me, like the biggest lesson I learned from all of this is. Sorry, I'm gonna kind of read a little bit because I don't want to misspeak at all.
Yeah.
So if I care about advocating for anyone, whether it's someone
She had to write down her response.
Facing Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, transphobia, homophobia, anything at all, it's to extensively read up on the current state of affairs.
She really had to read that. She couldn't say that from her heart. She had to literally write it down and read it. I feel like someone wrote it for her. I wouldn't be shocked if someone wrote that for her.
And what they're currently facing. It's, not just like using a blanket term like stop Islamophobia, don't be anti-Semitic, but so that
Oh, gee. Really powerful. I am not sharing. These are my Skittles, okay? Go get your own, okay? These are mine. But here, you can have one. There you go. Yeah, I know, she can't say a complete sentence, dude. She can't say a complete sentence. It's insane. This is insanity. And she has to, can I read this? Someone gave me this to read. Probably her journalist neighbor, if I had to guess. Her journalist neighbor wrote her an apology letter to say online because she can't speak from her heart. Yeah, cough, cough, ChatGPT. I would not be shocked, Summer, if she was like, ChatGPT, I'm going to be on H3H3, and I need a good letter to explain why I am not up to date on the anti-Semitic stuff. Ethan cannot fall for this. No way.
I can offer in detail understanding of what an individual is currently facing and how that may translate in various ways. I think that in general, as a content creator, I wanted to, to be completely honest, it's a really intimidating topic to jump into for obvious reasons.
That's why you don't get involved in it.
Especially, as we can see with everything that happened.
I've been able to talk about this whole situation back and forth with hardly mentioning the Israel-Palestinian war right now, or genocide. I've been able to talk about this for hours without mentioning it one time. You can do that too.
And after releasing the video and just not being versed in it, not having a cultural background or understanding, not not being Palestinian and not being someone who's extensively versed, but wanting very, very deeply to advocate for Palestinians and everything that they're going through. I feel like there's many ways that I misstep along the way, but I think that being able to do that.
Why is she on about the Palestinians right now? She just got accused of attacking the Jews, but now she's like, well, I just care deeply about Palestinians. How does that have anything to do with what you guys were talking about? I just really want to deeply advocate for it. Dude, this is so... Oh my God, this is like has PR all over it. I just really deeply care. I really want to just advocate for them. I could care less about the lies that I've said about you and your family, Ethan and Hila. All I care about, though, is that I will be advocating for the Palestinians. If I got to lie, cheat, and steal to advocate for them, that's what I'm going to do.
That, really, okay, I want to advocate for these people. What are they currently facing today? How can I, really offer in-depth dialogue to that, so that
yellow.
I can kind of combine research
Skittle.
and empathy. I know Dan sort of spoke about how I misuse
I'm not giving
empathy,
you the
or sort of use that as a blanket term, and I think that's maybe one of the ways that I can do that better. Instead of just being like at the beginning of the H3 video, any anti-Semitism will not be tolerated, and speaking about Islamophobia, but not very very much in-depth understanding how that's translating in modern day currently. So I think that when all of this happened and I made my follow-up video, I was feeling very hurt and confused by, essentially being thrown the label of being anti-Semitic. I think that,
Cheers, Purple
of course
Skittles.
I can't, a lot of that's coming from my own ignorance and my own lack of depth and knowledge, and, not being a Jewish individual, not growing up in that. I grew up with no religion, no religious background. My dad was raised Jehovah's Witness. My mom was raised strict Catholic, and they both kind of decided to raise me without any religion.
Well, there you go. Her mom was Jehovah's Witness. That explains a lot.
I've heard a lot of horror stories from my dad about his particular family and his particular upbringing in Jehovah's Witness. And so from that, I also have my own preconceived notions of, just a lot of religions in general, which may not be fairly placed all the time. But yeah, I don't want to speak for others, but I think that there's a lot of people that...
What do you mean you don't want to speak for others? Your whole video was about speaking for others. That was the whole thing your video was based around, was you speaking on behalf of others. Does she not hear herself? I just want to tell what the internet's saying. That is what she said. I just want to tell what the internet's saying. I don't want to speak for others all of a sudden. That is the whole thing that you've been saying this whole time, is that you want to speak for others. That is what you've been saying. Good God, this is hurting my brain. This is hurting my brain. In the UK, our purple Skittles aren't grape flavored. They're black. It's a black currant. Huh. Like a black cherry?
Who want to criticize the Israeli government and their actions, but feel lost on how to do so without being labeled anti-Semitic.
That statement on itself, you said that about me.
And about,
in fact,
am I the Israeli government?
I had a real issue with that statement.
I mean, is it okay if I finish really quick?
No.
Yeah.
I would have been like, no, you take this.
Sorry, I know it's kind of long.
You're good. I didn't realize you were. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, there were a lot of people that, there's some really kind people who sent me messages educating me on either side and things that I got wrong on either side of the situation, which...
She sounds like Trump. There was good people on both sides.
Of course, it should have been my job to do in the first place, But one thing I learned a lot about is the dual loyalty trope, and where it's seen as anti-Semitic to scrutinize someone's connection to Israel. And I can see that because it's a holy place for many Jewish individuals.
Like raisins.
That being said, I think a lot of people...
raisins are great.
At least for me, that was, I don't want to talk about my personal life or anything, but even being around Jewish individuals, that was not something that was ever told to me or taught to me. Not that, again, that is anyone's job to teach anything to me, but so again,
I never grew up around Jews. I don't know what they're like.
Climate and trying to sort of raise.
She's talking about them like they're minorities. I don't, I've never grew up around Jews. I don't know what they're like. They could be how, I saw Borat once. Apparently they're like cockroaches. Like, it sounds so bad, dude. She's making it sound typical far, far left right here. They don't know how to, they can't think for themselves. They need me to do it for them.
Awareness, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide. I unknowingly bumped up against that and, was again, spoke about that in a wrong way. If I was aware of that, I would have never spoke about that, just because I care about,
God, dude,
not being anti-Semitic. And I care about that, I don't know about
That's good.
others, but I do think that there's a...
This is 100% her getting where she's at right now on her looks. Everything she's gotten in her life right now has been based on her looks and her big old boobies. It has nothing to do with her talent, her intellect. Sad to see, man. Hard to see. You hate to see it. You gotta hate to see it.
A lot of people who are pro-Palestine, who are kind of maybe in the same boat as me, who aren't aware of that, and then are being kind of being told that they're anti-Semitism and maybe put on the defense because of that, and aren't aware that there's that particular nuance to this conversation, maybe.
Well, one side clearly gets a lot more um, defense and explanation online than the other.
Yep.
But specifically, I'm going to play this clip because I felt the way that you said this was interesting.
I am most hurt about the claims of anti-Semitism. As I've mentioned time and time again, I'm just not well versed in politics. I would really like to understand how one can be pro-Palestine,
She had time to go do all her makeup, though.
speak about the disagreements they have with the Israeli government, and still not be seen as anti-Semitic.
No, I called you anti-Semitic for one very specific statement you made. It had nothing to do with Israel. Nothing. You conjuring that image to
Raisins
people,
are worried grapes.
it's really fucked up because people use it. But hold on, there's more.
Sometimes the ways in which Ethan talks about the issues, he makes it seem like that's not possible. A lot of that
You say
likely
I'll let
due
it
to October 7th, and essentially Ethan having an intense cognitive dissonance.
Reminder: she started this off
Oh
by
my
saying, "I'm
God.
way out of my depth with this."
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have.
I'm very curious to hear
Now
this.
she's going to lecture me, right, about my reaction
Yeah.
to October 7th.
Him being, living in Israel, upholding these, Israeli values.
Dude, I've never seen someone get so crushed in a debate before. Never have I ever seen someone just get so absolutely slapped down during a back and forth.
What are they?
Israeli values. Go on.
And ideals that have been sort of programmed into him from when he was born.
Okay, you're a Nazi.
When he was
you're
born?
Like a fucking,
He
you're
wasn't
like a-
born in
I first of all, I don't think you're a Nazi, right? I'll amend that because I was being hyperbolic. What I meant is you're saying stuff that Nazis say, and obviously I also fully acknowledge that you don't know that what you're saying is anti-Semitic, right? Like totally agree with you there. And I know you already addressed this stuff. You kind of already rolled this stuff back, which is good. The part that I wanted to ask you about.
Talks about the issues, he makes it seem like that's not possible.
How did I make it seem not possible to talk about Israel without being accused of being anti-Semitic? Because I never one time brought up anything being anti-Israel being an issue. The only thing I brought up is that statement you just saw, which had nothing to do with Israel. So like, why even say that? Because that's an extremely popular trope that you'll hear, is that you Jews are like perpetual victims and they call you anti-Semitic for any old.
Oh yeah, this is definitely being prepared versus being totally unprepared. This is 110% what it looks like when you're in over your head. That's basically all it is. When you're in over your head. And that's exactly what's happening with Madison right now. In over her head.
Reason, no matter what, I criticize Israel, they call me anti-Semitic. That I'm constantly seeing Jewish voices being marginalized for saying that, right?
And you know what's funny? As if I did a video on Madison and I tried to reach out to her for comment, she wouldn't give it to me either because I'm too small. But yet she plays the same game with Ethan. Oh, well, I would have reached out, but I'm too small. You wouldn't have paid attention to me. So, just pointing out hypocrisy here.
But here's the interesting thing is I didn't even come close to saying anything like that, and you still said it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think I watched the full live and genuinely was trying to understand, okay, where did I go wrong? What was, anti-Semitic? And again, it's not necessarily your job to educate me, but I was, trying to understand how can I, criticize Israel, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide, and
it's not that complicated though, is it? It's really not.
I guess, and I would like to hear your perspective.
I think
again, like I said, I did, receive some,
Here's a perspective you give. Israel needs to stop killing Palestinians, and people need to stop demonizing all Jews for, what happens in Israel. As simple as that. Everybody needs to come together and figure out a solution without more people dying. There, I just did it, guys, without, pointing fingers at either side, and there's a good resolution at the end.
To be honest, I received after that live mass comments, messages. Sorry, I fucking hate when I get emotional.
You can take a moment. It's okay. It's emotional.
Look, he's being so nice to her. I would have, right after she just tried to ruin this guy's life. It's insane.
I understand you care about being on the right side of things, right? So I 100%, I understand, and I know this.
Yeah, she hasn't said sorry once. Just apologize, girl. We all get something wrong. I kind of feel bad for her, but only because she's still technically one of us, but only a wee bit. Yeah, she's I don't know. I feel like I don't know. If anything, I feel like she's kind of like used the anti-MLM community to like launch her career, and then she instantly like jumped from it the second that she felt like it wasn't catering to her anymore. That would bother me, you know, because you're still all about it, sweet. So I always thought she was a good creator until maybe the past couple years when she started getting a little more into like politics. The minute she started putting a lot of politics in her videos, and I think she was doing it to grift, is when I stopped believing anything that she had to say. So, you know,
This is painful.
Mass amount of people calling me a Nazi, and
That's not true, by the way, and I don't want people to call her a Nazi. Okay.
and so I was trying to understand what. Sorry, I fucking hate when I cry. I'm not trying to like.
It's fine. No, I know. I it's sincere.
It's
I'm
fine.
I'm just, to be honest, I'm just absolutely getting my butt kicked here, and I'm gonna fire everybody on my team who I hired to make this video for me. Firing my writers. I'd like to fire my clip gatherers. They let me down so much. It was 100% their fault, except for the video clips that I personally grabbed because I blamed it on the editors, but I actually was the one who grabbed them. You weren't supposed to figure that out. I didn't know that I was dealing with someone who actually pays attention to the details. But there's so much that I just want to, I really thought I was going to come on here and just do a good job. I thought I was going to come on here and look smart, and I don't feel smart, and I don't look smart. There's a goddamn stain on the chair behind me. There's a stain on the chair behind me. It's been bothering me this whole time, and I just don't know what I'm going to do. I just leave me alone, Ethan. You're so mean. So mean. Oh my god.
Oh, we're all just people here, and
So
yeah.
genuinely, here I'm acknowledging like I'm not I'm trying to be more educated, grow.
I'm trying to do better, even though I knew that everything I was putting in my video was a lie, and I knew it was 3 hours, and I knew that all of it was fake shit, but I just didn't expect you to call me out. I didn't expect you to catch me in all these lies. I really didn't. I thought I was just gonna be able to make a video and just get away with it. I really thought that someone was gonna help me, and then I really just kind of like, I just wanted to do the best that I could. And I'll be honest, I bought these boobs because I thought it was gonna make my life a lot easier, and it didn't. And it was all that damn Savannah's fault. I should have never became friends with her. And I also I'm a girl, and when I was younger, photographers used to hit on me, and guys used to try to date me and pretend they were my friends, and then really all they just wanted to do is sleep with me, and that just made me feel really bad about myself. And I also, I just want to be able to lie. I just want to lie in my videos and not get called out for it. Is that too much to ask for? Is that too much for you to understand? Is that I want to lie in my videos, and I don't want anyone to ever tell me that I'm wrong. Because I'm not wrong. I'm never going to be wrong again. From this day forward, even though I knew I was wrong when I was saying it, I didn't care. Because it made me feel good to know that I was burying you, and I thought I was smarter than you, and I thought you were evil, but now I feel like I'm the evil one. And I never thought in a million, bajillion, gazillion years, and I've said about 100,000 times, and I didn't expect to come on here live saying so much. Okay. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. Yeah, give me the Oscar. That's it. We're canceling EG for his bad tears. I know. I should have never done that. So I don't cry online. I hate when I cry online, guys. I should have never done it.
I'm starting from ground zero, and I think I'm hoping that a lot of at the very least.
Oh, hang on. Let's do it. Let's give her the treat. Let's see if it fits with her too. Oh my god. Let's try this.
be more educated, grow. I'm starting from ground zero, and I think, I'm hoping that a lot of, at the very least, a lot of content creators can learn from my mistakes, when speaking about this, and be able to, be pro-Palestine, talk about the genocide, and not be anti-Semitic. And how do you not, run into that, coming from an ignorant place of someone who's, not Jewish and didn't know about these things. And so, essentially, genuinely, I had so many messages calling me a Nazi, calling me anti-Semitic, but no one telling me why. Even the program from birth, they would say that's anti-Semitic, but I didn't, weren't exactly explaining why they saw it that way, or not, sorry, didn't saw that way, but why that was an anti-Semitic trope. And so I was trying to understand it, and it wasn't until literally yesterday I had a great conversation with someone over DMs, and they sent me resources to, the dual loyalty trope, and I read into it, that I was able to understand that aspect. And, of course, someone who's more politically educated than me can debate all of these different intricacies. But for me, when I'm speaking about this, my biggest goal is to, I never want to hurt anyone, and,
I will say,
is that good enough? Do you forgive me now? It's like, can the internet, because I ran out of debate skills, and I decided I was just going to cry. At the end of the day, I realized that I was making no sense. My arguments were terrible. I just tried, and I can't take her seriously now. You shouldn't have been taking her seriously in the first place. Yeah, E.G. Paltrow. Personally, though, I think mine was better. I think my tears and my crocodile tears were better. Because she's getting so whooped in this that I think that she eventually was just like I'm gonna cry. That's it. I'm just gonna cry now, and let's see if that breaks him. It makes him be nice to me. I just want him to be nice to me. Oh my god. Yeah, she is really, the music I think really just put it all together. Yeah. If I make a short of her crying with sad music behind it talking about Palestine, you think it'd go viral? Because I think it would definitely yeah. You love me. You really love me. Sally Field.
I 100% am with you, right? And I think it's brave that you're calling it and facing all this
Oh,
stuff head
stop
on.
it, Ethan.
I don't think
You're
most people would do that, right?
You're
so I
falling
am very
for-
grateful that you were coming here and having an honest conversation. And I appreciate the emotion you're showing, right? I do. And I do think, I want to just reaffirm that.
I will say, okay, to her benefit, Madison did come on there and say I was wrong, where you would never get that from, okay, I'm going to give her her praise, okay? I'm done picking on her for a minute. But she did come on here when Hassan would never say this shit. iDubbbz would never say this stuff. You damn sure know Bad Empanada would never say this stuff. Mike P.A. would never say this stuff. Dedhams would never say this stuff. Rogan would certainly never say this stuff. So the fact that she actually came on here and kind of gave this, heartfelt apology that she fucked up and that she, her video was wrong, even though she wasn't condemning, the lies in her videos. And I think that she is being disingenuous by, and not admitting that her research was really terrible and not just saying, I'll do better in the future. I'll do better in the future. I'll do better in the future. She started talking about her abuse, grooming, flirters, and ended with you. Yeah, exactly. And if she didn't take everything and make it about herself, oh, I have a cousin who's a meth addict, so I know all about drug use. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't, dude. No, you don't. I guarantee you, I know way more about what it's like to go through abuse than you do. I bet you parents out there who have kids that are suffering from abuse know way more about it than you do. Your cousin or uncle or whatever being a meth addict does not teach you about drugs. I don't know. So that's about as far as I'm willing to go with a charity towards her, is that she did go there and put up, and admit that she was wrong in certain areas. I do give her that. But that's about all I'm willing to give her, is that,
That you should be criticizing Israel's government.
What's that link,
right?
Alec?
You should be criticizing them for this fucking horrific genocide, mass murder of people in Gaza, right? You should be. It's just don't make broad generalizations about Jews, being born with some preconceived notions about the state of Israel and stuff like that, right? Don't say that Jews are programmed from birth. but like you absolutely are right to and should criticize the state of Israel, right?
Oh, is that a clip of me crying? Is that my clip there? I'm almost curious. Did you clip me crying? You sure did. You sure did clip me crying.
What? Sorry, I fucking hate when I cry. I'm not trying to like.
It's fine. No, I know. It's sincere.
It's
I'm
fine.
I'm just, to be honest, I'm just absolutely getting my butt kicked here, and I'm gonna fire everybody on my team who I hired to make this video for me. Firing my writers. I'd like to fire my my clip gatherers. They let me down so much. It was 100% their fault, except for the video clips that I personally grabbed because I blamed it on the editors, but I actually was the one who grabbed them. You weren't supposed to figure that out. I didn't know that I was dealing with someone who actually pays attention to the details. But there's so much that I just want to, I really thought I was going to come on here and just do a good job. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
100%. No question about it. So, I mean, your intent,
She's been in YouTube long enough to know that shit was wrong and that she shouldn't have made that video, but she didn't think that far ahead. She wanted a video that got clicks, hoped it made 1 million views, and she fell flat on her face. Simple as that. That's all it was. That's all it was.
I feel, I understand your intentions, right? I do. And that's kind of like the only way
He is being so nice. He is being so nice here. But I think he's doing that strategically. I do think that he is doing this to make it so that she can't come back and talk more shit on him, I was legitimately laughing at myself. I was. I'm a funny guy.
I can.
What's been hard for me, for example, is that I do criticize the government of Israel.
Blue Jay says, iDubbbz is currently saying that PewDiePie's apology for saying the N-word once was not heartfelt and he didn't do the work to better himself. Oh, God, what is wrong with him? I noticed that some comments on YouTube are not showing up in my restream. Why is that? That is driving me nuts. That's lame-o.
We've said many times, when we lived there, I did not vote for Bibi. I'm not a right-wing Israeli. I'm a left-wing. So, like, I'm on your camp, but people still villainize me. Like, if you go on TikTok, I'm like the villain. I'm the raider of Ramallah.
Oh, and there's nothing more the left people like doing than attacking other people on the left. It's like their favorite pastime. You're not left enough. You're a Nazi.
It's like, that is anti-Semitism. You're not seeing me as a person.
Do you see how easy you fell into, like, anti-Semitic tropes? Like, it's just so easy when you run in these communities because it's like, for them, that's just, they really are fucking racist.
Yeah, they are.
Like, they really are. Like, these snarkers are really genuinely just racist, right? And
these are the type of people who are like, these black people cannot speak for themselves. I need to do it for them. That's the people who run in these H3H3 snark communities, and it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. You should never say that about any minority because they can speak for themselves. They are smart people. They are independent, and they have their own way of doing things. Just because you don't see their way of doing things doesn't mean they can't do it.
I mean, you've seen it with the content crash out guy. Like, you see these people like, oh, you do great research. You have all these videos on him. You've done all this. But, like, the subtext as a Jewish person looking at that, even just scrolling through the page, it's like, this person does not like Jewish people. And so it's, I find it troubling how easy it is to fall into that these days. And someone like you who has good intentions, would never want to, participate in such a thing, can fall victim to these fucking insane narratives that you find on places like Snark.
Again, like I don't want to. I don't want.
Is she gonna go back to crying?
To talk about anyone else's page or condemn them just because I don't feel comfortable with that,
Because they're all my fans. That's why I don't want to do that. Because I don't want to condemn Snark because that's a lot of those guys watch me, and I've had conversations with them, and they're already so mad at me. I don't want them being more mad at me. God, have some freaking grow a backbone, Madison. You were wrong. And you did nothing about it.
I can again, and I'm learning about anti-Semitism still, but I can see where I went wrong in my video, and
I'm just a pretty innocent little flower, and I didn't know what was going on in the big bad world because I'm just a little innocent blonde girl. I did not mean no harm. I just made YouTube video, but YouTube video full of lies. So don't blame me because I'm just pretty girl. That's me.
I, yeah, I. In my original video,
I'm sure you're not
I
alone,
spoke
Timey.
about, the, at least, again, I don't want to misquote myself, or anything like that, but, I don't deny that there's an increase in anti-Semitism happening, just like there's an increase in Islamophobia happening.
Yeah, she can't say the one without any other. She cannot do it.
Why do you have to mention Islamophobia when you have?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, dude. Same wavelength. I'm gonna be the next H3H3. Let's go. Except I'm gonna be a lot nicer. Let's go.
You bring up anti-Semitism. Why?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to be like honest on what I see personally happening, but again, this is from my perspective, my algorithm. I do think, there's a huge danger happening. This is, talking about, sorry, I keep moving the mic. I'm talking about,
I keep moving the mic. If I move the mic one more time, I'm gonna cry again. I don't want you to make me cry again. Do you want to make me cry again, Ethan? Ethan's like, no. He's like, I don't want to.
This kind of fear of echo chambers and how they're getting worse and worse in these personalized algorithms. I have been getting more and more afraid of my own content, sort of, that I'm in an echo chamber and
you
that
think
my
that
own
snark
content
subreddit
is
is an
reflecting
echo
that.
chamber?
Absolutely, yeah. Just like anything. Just
That's
like
the first time that she said anything about the snark being an echo chamber. The first time.
to be honest,
Not
just like
just like
your
anything.
subreddit as well.
I mean,
I think that
it is.
all
It is,
of
but
those are tailored.
it is an echo chamber. I wouldn't think it's as much as ours. It's not. But the thing is, I'm not like a.
I
I'm
can
not,
see
I don't
that,
have-
sweet.
I love researching in my, my profile description. And like, if somebody was trying to make a video, and only source it from our subreddit, I would say you need more sources on that.
I would love to do like a compilation of, how much I source from this versus that and, all of that because, and maybe that would cause me to reflect on myself, because again, sometimes I'll just go into this rabbit hole and unintentionally that's what will come out. But sorry, my intention was to find online commentary, like I've said again.
No, it wasn't.
Sorry,
No, it
now
wasn't.
I've sort of forgot my train of thought. But so my worry is that I'm in an echo chamber as well. So I've been kind of thinking of covering essentially this like series called Internet Archive, where I go into situations that have happened in the past online.
Why does this pertain to anything you're talking about right now? Why, like, all you're doing is you're talking content with him now. That is not what anybody's here for. They're here because you lied about him.
Or influencers, kind of not influencers of the past, but you get what I mean, where it's not as highly debatable. It's not sort of in the now where you're shoved into
She looks like the type of person to cook food in her TV and watch her microwave.
in a certain algorithm or a certain echo chamber. It's sort of like the situations are less debated, essentially, of what's taken place. I feel like that might at least help
What's up,
me,
Hi Spy?
or just people in general,
Thanks for stopping by.
like get out of that a little bit. So that's what I'm hoping to cover, sort of moving forward as well. Again, just reflecting on everything. I have been thinking about that for the past few months in general. But I was thinking, I forgot how that sort of relates into all of this. Sorry, just a random thought.
I was asking how, why is it that when you talk about anti-Semitism, you feel the need to also mention Islamophobia?
Yes, thank you. He's not letting her get out. She thought she was going to get out of that, and then he was like, no, I did not forget. And in fact, I ignored everything you said right there, and I'm just going to wait for your answer here.
Yeah. So I was going to again, my personal viewpoint and what I've seen, to be honest, I kind of feel like Islamophobia in America particularly,
I thought she was going to go another
really
rant.
bad, especially since, 9/11 and everything. Obviously, that's
Gee, I can't imagine why.
fucked up what happened. That was terrorism. I don't want to like say, excuse that
Already
wasn't,
better
but
than Hassan,
I think that,
though.
a lot of Americans have been really fucked up in terms of, being really racist towards Muslim individuals.
I think historically
my
that's true, but
opinion. Yeah.
for example, if you go to FBI crime stats for this year, Jews, who make up like 2% of the population, account for like almost 30% of all hate crimes. Like per capita, by far, Jews are the biggest victims of hate crimes by far, right? By far. And again, I don't say that to demean the racism against one other person, but the fact that you can't even mention anti-Semitism without invoking Islamophobia just it feels to me when people do that it's like, yeah, it's bad. But also Jews somehow, for some reason, are I also have to mention that even people hate Jews, but also, the Jews also kind of
He's so right, dude. He's so right. I'm glad he brought this up.
saying that Islamophobia is also a big deal. So let's just
Yeah, I
be
mean-
Almost like you're gonna get stoned or something for saying that is the hatred towards Jews is not fair, right? It's you can't say that without being like, but the Palestinians, that you know what I mean.
let's just be
It's hard.
balanced.
It's like everything is a personal perspective, right?
No worries, High Spy. Focus on driving, and we're just glad that you're listening.
I mean, even
I hope to see
literally
you in the
right
future.
before this stream, I was seeing a ton of videos about Sudan and the what's it called, like satellite images of
the blood
on the streets, and and so it's like, and I think that so many Americans have been completely
God, this
tuned out
chair
to
won't
everything
stop
that's
rolling
happening
to
over
the
there,
right.
just because we're very focused on what's happening over here, and so and again, like I said, because of my perspective, I'm always going to have a limited worldview, and I have to be extremely cognizant of that, and I think that. It's like I think that sometimes running into situations like this where you're introduced to a broader audience who's gonna really tell you like it is, sometimes that's okay, because you really learn where your flaws are, and where you need to get better.
See, this is where I'm getting nuts, though, because I don't feel like she had no idea what she was doing. I think she knew exactly what she was doing. I just think that she didn't think she was going to get called out for it. That's where I'm having the biggest issue here, is that she knew what she was doing. She's been doing content longer than I have, and I'm not making them mistakes. So either she really is lacking intelligence and clear understanding of situations way further beyond any level that I predicted, or she's being disingenuous here and lying. Because there's no way she thought that what she was doing was 100% on point. And if she does, then every video that she's ever made up until this point is full of lies and misinformation. So, what is it, Savannah? Either you completely are unintelligent, and that's not even a word, you lack intelligence, or you are just being disingenuous. It can't, that's it. That's your only two options here. Or you did it or you knew what you were doing, and that would be disingenuous. Okay, still same thing.
Obviously the harsher situations that I discussed on this call, wish those didn't happen, but in that process, but also, the kinder criticism, the harsher criticism, but that's more valid, I think all of that was really essential in terms of learning and getting better as a content creator.
There's something else I want to show you that I felt.
Dude, she sounds like her publicist wrote this. I called her Savannah. Did I call her Savannah? Dude, I'm having flashbacks, man. I'm having flashbacks right now. I feel like I'm doing the same thing over again.
Was hurtful, and here it is. It's your continued insistence that I'm paranoid, that people are out to get me, which you say simultaneously while editing out a swastika hill.
I'm so glad that he put this back on, got her back on. I think that she thought the waterworks and stuff was going to be enough for her to get him to stop bringing up more stuff, but he's like, nope, we got more to go. Here we go. What's next on the list?
Brandished by iDubbbz, my former friend. So how is that paranoid, right? Like you say, paranoid implies.
Yeah. So
and once again,
I
this is
think
another
that-
trope that you see anti-Semitism everywhere, but actually you're hallucinating,
Yeah,
which
it's Sav
is something that
PTSD.
iDubbbz and Hassan have both lectured me on. Non-Jews, white dudes, white cis dudes lecturing marginalized voices on how they should feel about the racism and the shit that they're facing.
Absolutely.
Right? How can
brother,
you say I'm being
cook.
paranoid while also acknowledging the anti-Semitism that I face?
He
It's just-
cooking.
it's very hurtful.
He cooking hard.
Well, first off, I want to say that's that sounds like conversations or an argument that is with other individuals. That's not a conversation or argument that I was intending to make. Sorry, I'm getting
About which
situated.
one?
The sort of the conversations or arguments that you've had with Hassan or iDubbbz or Ian.
Well, you edited out the
or not.
swastika. Why did you do that?
Yeah, can I say why I did that? So obviously I speak about censorship on YouTube and all of that, but why
I was worried my video wasn't going to make no money. Because the only reason I made this thing in the first place was so that I could screw your life up and I could get paid for it. Hell yeah, I'm going to edit out that swastika. That might mess with my money.
edited out the swastika is because I don't agree with it. I talk about how I
But
think
then how can you accuse
Ian
me of being
takes his video
paranoid?
too far. Did I do that in the same breath?
Many
in that
times. Here
part?
it is.
because of his ties to Israel, but his decreasing capacity to view the other side.
That
the
was not
walls
in
are
the
closing in
iDubbbz
on him.
part,
His
though.
paranoia
Let him play the video. Madison, you will not let him play it. Do you notice that she's doing that? Every time he plays a video that he's going to be able to prove or use against her, she starts going, yeah, but wait. Like, trying to stop the train of thought. Thank God she didn't do this to me. I'm too ADHD. She probably would have tricked me several times.
paranoia,
Is
and
what I'm
all of
trying
a
to say.
sudden, if you weren't with him, you were against him.
Listen, if you disagree with me, you're just not looking.
You're not
or-
showing what I'm talking about. It's not even. There's like. I'm not just talking about myself. I'm sure I'm talking about
At
something
least not in
specific.
this place as I am. This is what I see happening. People,
This was right
they
after
want
October
to-
7.
Okay,
Yeah.
that I can concede with you in the fact that you're talking about anti-Semitism, and I'm sort of
Calling me
again
paranoid.
someone who's
This was right after October 7. That's
Say
us
blatant disingenuous right there. Blatantly disingenuous.
talking right after October 7.
yeah. That being said, I do
That's
think
following the paranoia.
Dude, Gila is not buying any of this shit. Gila is not letting her get away with nothing. And I'm sure she's almost getting frustrated with Ethan for letting her get away with so much and doing the waterworks. Gila has been stone-faced this whole time, being like, nope, I don't know why the hell you did this in the first place. I really can't wrap my head around it. But Ethan's like, I can understand you're trying to do better. And Gila's like, nah, F that chick. I don't care. I don't care.
and I'll
Do you know what
to be
happened on
honest-
October 7th?
We were
Yes.
living it still because my family lives there.
Do you think Hamas was?
Yeah, and-
Do you think Hamas are terrorists?
Yeah, I say that in the video.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's an important concession. I appreciate that.
But as far as what was I going to say? And that's also my perspective.
She does have to have the last
It feels
word.
weird saying my perspective of you as I'm talking to you. But listening to your account of things. You met your wife in Israel. You had your birthright trip when you were speaking about being at sort of having a lot of difficulties in college. I can see the emotional ties that you have.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ethan is a man at the end of the day. I'm sure the fact that she's like this cute blonde girl is weighing on him, and he feels like he's bullying like this little girl. But Gila's like, nah, nope, no, I'll set you straight, buddy. Don't fall for her tears. Don't fall for her little, I'm so sorry.
I lived
And
there.
after
And my wife-
after
Yeah.
and
I
having
lived there.
family
My wife is
members.
Israeli. It's really that.
They are doing
Yeah,
good cop,
and
bad
having
cop.
family members there and everything.
Yeah.
And so
Hamas. Yeah.
and so after October 7th, that sort of toll that can take
Good
more
catch,
than
You know
people
what
have
happened?
when you remove
That's exactly
the
what's happening.
situation.
You know what
Cop, bad
happened?
cop.
It was the middle of the night, and I heard Hila on her phone. She was listening to Israeli news stations.
Ethan's there to be like the trusted cop that she can confide in and let down her hair, while Gila's there to be like, but you were there, weren't you?
Families were calling into the news stations live from their shelters, begging for help as they were being burned alive in their houses with their children, and nobody could help them. They were actually in their safe rooms, being murdered in front of their children, being burned alive. You know what I mean? Being
Yeah.
fucking slaughtered in front of their children, losing limbs. This was happening
was-
live.
There were things being live streamed. Like
They were calling
people
into news.
being
Yeah.
murdered live streamed.
Oh yeah. Did you know that Hamas members would slaughter? They would slaughter people and then post it on their They take their phone and post it on their Facebook page, their dead body. But all this was happening live,
mean,
and nobody was there to
hours.
help them,
It was
right?
all happening
we were
over
just
hours.
we were just listening. It was like a whole day. We were just listening to people calling into the news, begging for help shortly before being executed.
Girls at the Nova were calling while they're hiding in a bush, whispering, and then nobody came because everybody's been slaughtered. Everybody's been.
Yeah, she does kind of shares the same all men are misogynists. Yeah. Well, that didn't stop her from buying that big rack, though, did it? She went out and bought them big boobs, but don't look at them. I didn't buy them for you. I bought them for me. It's like, well, then why are you wearing these seductive dresses? A lot of the videos she's in, she looks like she's like a woman of the night, like a Hyatt, She's doing that because she knows the men will watch it. Like that, you can't dress like in next to nothing, your cleavage out and all that stuff. And then turn around and say, how dare you look at me like that? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just weird to me. Like, most girls online who do that know exactly what they're doing.
been killed. The reason why this
Which is funny, because when Savannah got married, she's married to a man who was attracted to her. But because she married him, he's the only one allowed. Everybody else is a misogynist. Everybody else is a creep. Like, but had she not met that guy, she would have just, the next guy that came along that was attracted, that was nice, she'd get with him. All right, Summer.
has become such a we became the villain. All we're asking is for people to understand that the Israeli civilians are also innocent. Just care about the Israelis. Just say that rapes happened. Like, it's okay to acknowledge that there are victims in Israel too. That is
Not most, all of them do. You're right, High Spy. And yeah, Sweet, I dress for me most of the times, but sometimes I show me off. Exactly. She's like, she knows, Madison's not stupid. She knows she's hot, right? She knows she's pretty, and she uses that for content. But then where my exception is that she'll turn around and be like, how dare you? You know, it's like, well, then don't, it's one thing if a guy's like overly aggressive and like won't take no for an answer, but it's another thing to just be like, to dress like almost half naked and then turn around and say, don't look at me, you creep. You know, it's I don't know, it just comes off really strange, you know. What's October 7th? That was when Hamas flew into Israel and started slaughtering Israelis, innocent Israeli families and stuff. That's what they're talking about.
is all we're asking for. I'm not a representative of Bibi. I'm not Israel government. Like, it's just insane.
It feels bad, right?
She won't even talk to
Feels
Hila.
bad.
She won't
I
even
mean, of
talk to
course,
Hila.
I think that the hardest thing is, I mean, as I've spoken about in the video, my brother passed on October 3rd. So when all of this was happening, it was like, I was
That's
completely,
horrible. I'm sorry.
to be
That's
honest, I was
horrible.
completely, it's
I feel
fine.
like most people do, Sweet.
But, it was this sort of weird thing where, he drowned in Hawaii.
Oh, that's so
Wow.
sad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
That's awful.
That's awful.
It's fine. But it's like,
Oh my god, what did she just say right there? I just missed something.
When all of this was happening, it was like, I was
That's
completely,
horrible. I'm sorry.
to be
That's
honest, I was
horrible.
completely,
Oh my god, I missed it again.
I mean, of course,
A representative of Bibi. I'm not Israel government. Like, it's just insane.
It feels bad, right?
I feel like she's about. I feel like whatever. I missed what she said, but I feel like what she said was something to get she's playing a sympathy card here, so I just want to hear what it is.
Feels bad.
I mean, of course, I think that the hardest thing is, I mean, as I've spoken about in the video, my brother passed on October 3rd. So when all of this was happening, it was like, I was
That's
completely,
horrible. I'm sorry.
to be
That's
honest, I was
horrible.
completely, it's fine. It was this sort of weird thing.
All right. First off, Madison, I'm very sorry that your brother passed away. That does suck. It's very, very sad. No doubt in that. It's absolute tragedy. However, if you're gonna make a video a year later, you cannot claim that your brother's death stopped you from looking up in that whole year what happened over there. Like, am I wrong for that? Like, I don't, like, you are speaking, your audience is large enough to where when you say things, they listen. Don't you think that you are accountable for whatever comes out of your mouth? You are accountable for that, regardless of what happened in your personal life. I don't know if she's using this is she really using her brother's death to like get her out of this situation right now? Because we've already seen her use, getting unwantedly hit on by guys as an excuse. Now she's going as far as to use her brother's death to excuse why she doesn't know anything about October 7th. Because it wasn't just those first couple weeks after October 7th that people talked about this. This has been big news for a very, very long time. And while, again, I'm incredibly sorry that she lost her brother, I think that's absolutely horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. That does not excuse bad reporting. And and I feel like she's using this as an out, which makes me really kind of, just gives me the ick, man. It gives me the ick. Because I do feel like that she's using the sympathy card. She's pulling her brother's death as a sympathy card for her. It's like, well, I lost my great aunt the week that I would have found out the correct information about the video I made that was 3 hours long that was destroying your life.
Where he drowned in Hawaii.
Oh, that's so
Wow.
sad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
And here comes the crying.
That's awful.
That's awful.
it's fine. But it's like, he
It's
was,
fine.
20 years old.
Wow.
I'm sorry. But it's just like, So, anyways, not to distract from all that conversation, but just to say, like,
I
it
can
was
understand you were
such a shock.
distracted. Yeah. To say
And
it.
so, then all of a sudden, to be honest, like, you can see in my content, I lost like 30 pounds from like grief and everything. And,
What does this have to do with you getting the correct information? I get it's sad. Her brother passing away is very sad, but I don't understand how this is getting her out of just really bad reporting. Is your brother's death directly responsible for you just getting all of that video wrong? Is that what I'm getting from this? Like, if we're really going to step back and look at this thing from a big picture perspective, I feel like this is just a play for sympathy. I feel like that this isn't... Good God. I hear the same thing when a guy's being an ass. Well, I just miss my granny so much. It's her 12th year anniversary. Like when a guy's like trying to hook up with you and you're like, stop, you creep. It's like, well, I'm sorry. I just really miss my dad. And he left when I was 5 and went out to get cigarettes. He never came home. It's like, what does that have to do with you trying to get in my pants right now? Like, I don't understand this.
sorry. It was just weird. It was like this tunnel of grief and everything, but I still kind of kept going with like just the bare thing, like basics of like function in terms of like, what I needed to.
Again, I don't know. Am I losing my mind here, or is she really using her brother's death as an excuse for why her video on Ethan Klein was wrong? That's what I'm getting from here. That is exactly what I'm getting from this.
Do to, be there for my kids.
Hang on. We got to give her the... Let's just be right about this. Where is... Hang on.
Kid, for my family, just all of that. And yeah, and so kind of coming back and seeing everything that had happened, in Palestine, Israel, just everything that was taking place. Obviously, I heard about October 7th, but the picture that I see is different. It's changed. And obviously Free Palestine is a huge movement at that point. And I can empathize as to why by that point. I see Palestinians getting slaughtered and I see streets getting leveled. And, it's that's sort of the perspective that I had coming into it. And, and then you see these videos that are just horrific, of a toddler just the same age as my kid, and being dead on the street. And so, it's like, again, this is a thing that war is just the most fucked up thing. And I wasn't raised in a religion where I can, where I understand that sort of historical context, behind it. And I also don't have a tie to any sort of, any situation. And so I'm trying to navigate it, but, that's my perspective behind all of it.
And I think the problem.
Oh my God, damn. Oh my God, when you put the music behind it, it's almost like it exposes what she's actually doing, dude. Now it's all of a sudden about her. Yeah, dude, it's so crazy. She went from her brother's death. She connected her brother's death in Hawaii to Palestine. Somehow. And in that, like, if we really went back, right, and we tried to break down everything she said, I guarantee none of it connects and none of it makes sense. Deal with that trauma by smashing the thumbs up button. Hell yeah, Blue Jay. Thank you, High Spy. Appreciate you. But this is insane, dude. This is pure chaos. This is pure chaos right here. This is insanity. This is lunacy. I declare bankruptcy.
Or the frustration is that we agree, right? That the images coming out of there are unbearable. Just so tragic.
Yeah.
It's such a you can't even fathom the scale of loss.
Yeah, I feel like
and
that
suffering
Paul's
and
thumb
tragedy
that
that's taking place in there, right?
the Paul's picked
And
them
this is not like
a good
Hamas. These are
spot.
just like fucking regular people, and it tears me up too. I feel the same pain. I do.
I saw that clip of you, crying over, I think it was a father and his son, and being a father as well. And I empathize.
Okay, why didn't you put that in your video then? Why didn't you put that in your video, Madison? I hope he says that. Well, then why didn't you put that in there? If you saw that clip, then why didn't you put that in there? Dude, she's cuffing his balls while she's, you know.
With you there, you know.
I
as
can't honestly. I
virtual
can't watch it
parents.
because it's so devastating. It's so devastating to see that stuff. And I guess it just
Her logic
when I go
sounds like
all over
Common
the
Core
internet
math.
and everybody's calling me a Zionist, right? And everybody's saying you support genocide, you want to kill babies. I mean, it's just not true, and it's just such an awful thing to say about somebody, you know. And how am I not supposed to feel like prejudiced against when that's the conclusion? When I've been saying the opposite since before October 7th, right?
Yeah, he's been pretty you know, on the level about this same issue for a very long time. That's why he did Leftovers. That's why he started Leftovers with Hassan Piker. You know, he felt like he was for a lot of the same things Hassan was for until he realized Hassan was batshit crazy and disingenuous. This is why I say, like, I feel like Ethan is like the only hope for the left anymore because he's logical, he keeps it real, and he's not afraid to say things that'll piss off his side. I think he's only hope. Only hope.
But there's
So I guess, yeah,
there's no
I mean,
justification.
perspective-wise, what's your? I mean, genuinely, you know, we're having this conversation and everything. What's your outlook on everything that's happening? How do you see things going? Again, I don't know shit, but you know, you've been covering it more than me. I'd like to hear kind of.
Dude, she's trying to take over the. Don't fall for this, Ethan. Don't fall for this. Put her back on the ropes, dude.
It's a fucking insane quagmire. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The best outcome I see is like Hamas leaving, right? And then a joint effort from Arab countries, America, Europe, who are willing to invest a shitload of money in rebuilding the infrastructure.
Dude, okay, come on. I can't believe he fell for that. I cannot believe he fell for that. Okay. I'm trying to get to. I'm skipping this part because this is stupid. I don't care about how he thinks he's going to fix Palestine.
Yeah,
Not
and-
something that I've had
and
to
you-
face in the scope of my
And just to
career.
kind of bring
So
it, to try to make it tangible for you, you co-signed a TikTok account that compared Hila's Star
There we go. Now we get back to the good stuff.
David tattoo to a pentagram.
no, and that, you know, again, something, you know, I'll look into moving forward is the full scope.
That video is still up, though, by the way. Her video that she posted about Ethan Klein is still up. If she really meant any of this shit, she would have taken it down. If she meant anything she said, she would take it down. But she's leaving it up because she doesn't care. All she cares about is not looking evil to Ethan's audience. That's it. But I have a feeling that Ethan's audience is like, I'm so curious at the comments here. Oh, look, first one's from me. But I already said that like a million times. Ethan asked a question about the content that she literally posted on her channel. Cruel World, have you mind? So we moved to LA. My father gets a job in the Palm restaurant. My uncle Junior works there, who was a Jehovah's Witness. Believe it or not, we went to Catholic to be Jehovah. So basically, my grandmother's won it. Like, dude, that is so right. She used way too many personal anecdotes to get away from difficult questions. It's clear to me that a lot of these deep dive accounts don't really care about what they're talking about. It's narrative for runtime. Yep. Dude, I'm so glad that nobody's fallen for this crap. I would have been really concerned. To be fair, she was apologetic many times, but bumping into her mic about her lighting, something other people have said, getting emotional and crying, etc. However, not once about how she lied, spread misinformation, and hurt Ethan and Gila in her video. This person's right, too. She was apologetic about interrupting the interview and how her lighting looked, but she was not apologetic about the lies that she spread. She's the girl in your seminar class who hasn't read the book, knows nothing, but won't shut up. Dude, so right. With peace and love, it was disappointing to see her deflect with vague, evasive, non-committal language to avoid taking clear accountability or given a direct answer at any point. She was constantly trying to appear cooperative and understanding without actually admitting to spreading false information and dangerous insinuations. I commend Ethan and Healer for handling it so well, to be honest, and being so charitable and friendly to her despite that. Ethan, why did you make fun of my tattoo? Her. Being a military wife is hard. Dude, that sums it up right there. This one sums it up. Why did you make fun of my tattoo? Her. Well, being a military wife is really tough. She was called a Yahtzee for a couple days and started crying. Now imagine what Ethan and his wife have to deal with. This is so hard to watch. This will be the last one and we'll get back to it. This is so hard to watch. 1, her fake empathy and tone. 2, evading every question because it shows the truth makes her look terrible. 3, never apologizing. 4, never taking responsibility instead of opting for fake ignorance and blame others like her team and her editors. Trying not to piss off the Snark and Hassan's community at the cost of the truth. Pretending to be a neutral, unbiased third party who is making sense of a situation while only regurgitating and defending Snark. 7, pretending as if her hand-picked Snark post is just the general consensus online and not some crazed hallucination from a dedicated hate community. 8, expecting us to give her Snark and Hassan's community the benefit of the doubt in all situations while she does not afford the same to Ethan. Dude, this is so true, man. I don't know what I'm fully talking about here. End it there, girl. End it there. I don't know shit. This video was basically 3.5 hours of her trying not to piss off the Snark community, but also scrambling to not be the bad guy in this whole thing. Painful watch. Gila asking her why she thought her outfit photo was funny was amazing. She did not back down. Is it because I'm ugly? I love this version of Gila addressing these haters head on. I mean, they're all right. All those comments are 100% right, dude. This is painful to watch.
Hope of someone's account. That being said, like I said,
Did you know you sourced content crash out 9 different times?
That's times.
That's like a significant amount of times. 9
I mean,
times.
how many sources in total? How many clips in total do I have on the channel?
I'm sure it's a lot, but my point is
video.
that 9 times is a significant amount of times
some of
to
the
source.
also like my question.
Oh yeah, no, it's hard to watch for Madison, but it's great to watch for me. It's great content to watch for me. But yeah, no, for her, this has got to be torture. But if you find yourself in this situation, you put yourself there. Madison has no one to blame for this situation other than herself. Other than herself. Her fine-looking ass needs to get a reality check.
Question would be for that is that like the same, because for example in the intro I can sometimes like, oh, here's what's to come, so I might clip something and then that'll be the same clip that's used later on. Is that counted?
I'm not sure how it was counted.
That,
to be fair.
What's that movie quote from I think it was from the original Suicide Squad. It was like right there's a whole lot of pretty and a whole lot of crazy. That's what I keep thinking when I look at her.
So honestly, we've been talking for a long time, and I'm very grateful for your time. There's one more thing I want to watch, and then we can kind of just.
Yes. Let's
that
get
being said, I do want to say too.
We almost got through the whole
were going to mention the content cop, where I do mention. I kind of say. To be fair, I definitely think IDubbbz's approach, claiming to be a concerned friend who recently learned the concept of empathy while
I can fix her. For sure.
While dancing around in a goofy way, well, it definitely sends mixed messaging. I mean,
that's like.
Yeah,
that's an attempt at being biased. I think that's an extraordinarily understatement. I mean, from my perspective.
Yeah, but we were talking about.
But yeah, you're making an attempt.
Okay, she made one time in a 3-hour video where she gave Ethan a bit of credit, and she was hanging on to that for dear life to prove that she was unbiased. Yet the rest of the 3.5 hours of video is her crushing him. But that one time I did.
No, I appreciate you said that. That was good that you said that. I appreciate that.
I want to interject and say that, because again, I
appreciate that.
This idea that I never reached out and tried to see your side or your perspective. There's certainly times that I did that. You know?
Okay.
No, okay, one time that you can point to as an example, and the rest are not.
Fair. I appreciate you pointing that out, and I agree in that case that was good. So let's just here. I just want to watch this one more thing.
Ethan streamed an episode stating a child welfare visit was called in from people who worked at his house. He then blamed anonymous users for the call with manipulated evidence.
Oh, you dirty, dirty bitch. What the... You... Oh, this is gonna be good, dude. This is gonna be good because we all know where those welfare check came. They did not come from inside the house, despite what the movie will tell you.
Evidence. So let's talk about
Manipulated evidence. What is that?
CPS
You
being
didn't show anything.
Yeah, let me go to the actual
I know what you're talking
source.
about. But you pull it up. Pull up the source, and then we can respond to that.
Yeah.
You're referring to that clip of Denham's talking to Bad
What,
Empanada.
Okay, what chapter is that? Sorry, let me.
Oh,
Well, she get this from Willie Mack show?
I actually, I'm just referencing. I'm guessing, right, from my mind. We can wait and pull it up though.
Okay. Sorry, just because it's like 48 pages. Let me.
48 pages.
Okay.
She really
Okay, so-
she got behind her
Okay, so this is
team and started
page
whipping 'em.
43, I want to say. So I am.
Could someone
So,
pass that link?
so I think this is where I'm referencing in general the.
It really is.
The
I
sort of
honestly,
mass-
I don't know. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out if this is worse than Savannah's video on pierogi. They're both really bad. I am just trying to figure out which one is worse because both of them are just blatantly lying at the expense of someone else's life for their own personal growth. But this is just, I mean, they're both pretty damn bad. I'm having a hard time figuring out which one's worse. I would still say Savannah's probably worse because she tried to paint him as a predator, as where Madison's just trying to paint Ethan as a disingenuous person, which is not, I guess, as bad. So I guess Savannah still wins.
Master post from that, that snark, and then it goes into the alleged CPS involvement, which is their like number 2 on their,
Well, hold on. You said
sort
I
of
used.
list.
You said I used doctored evidence to blame them.
So so that was on their list.
That's from
so
Willie
they-
Mack show.
You know,
I'm
that's
pretty
them
sure.
quoting
you
them
didn't even
themselves, but-
bother to reference that, or like
She
a
did
fact
get
check?
run
I
off
should make
by
that-
Xylee.
I should make that really clear. So then I go into right after that. I
Xylee
have a
would've-
post from the Tribune
Dude, I almost wish that Xylee would cover this because, oh my god, she would lose her whole damn mind.
that goes into the CPS and the the skulls and everything. So
But do you see how you're setting the audience expectations when you go
anonymous users for the call with manipulated evidence.
manipulated evidence? I mean, the expectation you're setting for the audience already.
Most people don't know that Madison and Savannah have the connection that I do, though, because, I think I'm the only person who still talks about that situation with pierogi and what's going on with H3H3. I don't think many people know that connection between these two, and I think if they did know, they would be pretty shocked. I almost want to make a video pointing out the connection between the two and then pointing out the two situations and how they're so similar and how this seems to be a trend between these types of content creators. I think that would be a pretty good video and do pretty damn well if I had to guess.
Is that I'm somehow and
Yeah, so, I mean,
acting
I
in
could
bad faith
see-
in this whole thing, right?
I could see how I could structure it differently. Essentially, what I was doing with that is, if you kind of zoom out.
Dude, that's all she does. She never takes accountability. She says, well, that's not, I mean, what I was trying to do with it was this. Well, that's not what you did with it. Yeah, but that's what I was trying to do with it, Ethan. And that should count for something. Nope. I'm going to be honest that I don't really understand at all what you were trying to do here.
A little bit further. I'm reading from this like Reddit master post about their, concerns.
Do you think the
and
audience
so
cares?
Oh, hi, Spy. That's how I found your channel when you covered Peace Haters. Oh, so yeah. So you know then. You know. You're right there. You see the connection then. Well, I'm happy that you're here, Hi, Spy.
They
it
make
goes
that
into
distinction.
4 different posts. Again, like I said, I could structure it differently. And so this is, number 2 on their, concern list. So this is, kind of quoted directly from them. Again, on screen, how it could be potentially edited differently is, again, just showing the post itself, and, highlighted, showing that this is, a quote from them,
I mean, I
not a quote
kind
from me.
of have to, I feel like.
Again, moving forward, scaling down to ensure that
I mean, I don't talk to Perg anymore, so it's not like he could tell me I can't do it, So I might do this because it's just so similar in the approaches that they both took.
what
And I
they've
think
shown
I'm the
on
only
screen
person who
aligns
sees
with
that right now.
my intentions. Yeah, but
You did,
but
by
then
the way.
afterwards,
Just because we're counting, you sourced snark 66 times in the video.
66
okay.
times.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the amount of
66 times she sourced the hate Reddit for H3H3 as her resources, dude. No, P's a good guy. Yeah, I don't got a problem with P. But for a while, I was avoiding going after Savannah because, you know, I didn't want to get shit started for him again. But it's been well over a year and a half that I've spoken to him. So I say I'm gonna do it.
Again, how many times is that, you know, just an opinion, you know, that I'm sharing? How many times is that a clip?
Right.
You know,
My guess is that it's mostly editorialized.
Dig up
stuff,
that old
like
story.
probably the
Let's
vast
bring it
majority of
back,
them.
guys. Let's bring it back.
and you know, compared to how many times there's YouTube videos from your actual videos themselves, I would love to know that information in terms
Yeah,
of
he's
like,
doing well.
Crunch
I would
numbers on
love to, I would love to, you know, even just for my own criticisms, like, okay, let me actually see those numbers. Because I do think, again, going down these rabbit holes, I can go into online forums and like really look through them and be like, okay, let me include that. That's relevant here. Let me include that. And, you know, that's not, again, like I said, moving forward, I won't be doing that method. I'll be, okay, let me go through the originals.
Okay, then take the video down, Madison. Take the video down. Dude, I'm making a video. That's it. I've decided right here and now. Ol EG's coming back for this one, guys. Ol EG's coming back. We're going to have to we'll hold off the monster truck stuff for a little bit because I need to get my drama hat back on and I need to get in here and handle this situation because there's no way that I could pass up an opportunity like this.
Sources, and then if I want to go into online forums and provide certain opinion pieces, it's after the research is done and my sort of conclusion on the situation is done. Or if I happen to find a clip from an online forum, let me ensure that I can find the original clip so I can see it in its full context, just in case, you know.
Okay, so regardless, you say based on this thread from Snark that I've faked evidence, even though you don't know what it is that I faked.
So also, so right after that, so again, that's the you know, Snark quote, but right after that, I go into a article by the Tribune.
Yeah, I'll play
worked
that.
at his
You
house.
know,
In the see
yeah, and
I'll
you
play
can
it, I'll play
see
it.
Then
you can
blamed
see in
anonymous
the, you know,
users for the
research
call
itself
with
as well.
manipulated evidence. So let's talk about CPS being called on Ethan Klein, as stated in this mega thread. In March of 2025, Child Protective Services visited the Klein's home, and Ethan
How long
Klein
till she
claimed he
interrupts?
received skulls in the mail, human skulls.
So they sent us these skulls that are expensive and no one paid for them. And then we're like, well, I'm keeping them because I want them for evidence in case I ever need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And then they start calling us after a month, like begging us to return the skulls.
We found at first we were just kind of like, are these people serious? And also we weren't sure if the FBI was going to like ask for it for evidence or whatever.
The situation began in early March when CPS arrived after an anonymous tip claimed his child was crawling around and eating dog feces. Ethan Klein claimed that this claim has come from streamers who had spread the rumor that Ethan Klein's children had contracted Giardia. Then, around that time, the family received 2 unidentified human skulls, allegedly by mail, which prompted an FBI investigation. And of course, probably does not help with Ethan Klein's paranoia that people are out to get him.
Again, the paranoia thing is like...
I know.
Yeah, you're right, sweet. I will give her credit. Madison faced his head on. Savannah would never come and face me about this. She would never, like, gone toe-to-toe with me because I would have crushed her.
I got a human skulls in the mail. I mean, can you really...
Again,
CPS come to my house. I got human skulls. I mean, at what point do we stop calling me paranoid?
and also, again, to be honest, you know, with you know, the people with finding my aunts photo, which by the way, also girl with a microphone apparently.
Did she really just connect it back to people with her aunt posting a picture of her kid online as the same as CPS getting called on Ethan? Is that really what just happened? Did she really just compare her aunt posting a picture of her kid online to Ethan getting skulls in the mail and having CPS called on him? Those are not the same, Madison. If you think they're even remotely close, then you do not live in the same reality as the rest of us. Good God, girl. Go outside and touch grass because you clearly stay inside way too long. Way too long. Skip a gym trip and then go and just talk to people in the real world and hear what they have to say because you are habitually online. There is no way in God's green earth that you can compare Ethan having CPS called on him to your aunt posting a picture of your kid on Facebook without your approval. Those are not even remotely close. Good God. My God. How many times am I going to say God?
Tweeted asking an AI, let me find the actual tweet, you know, so I don't, again, misquote it. asking Grok if I was homeschooled, and then like they brought up random Madison Harnish and what high school they go to,
Grok
and then
knew
she
that?
asked,
Jesus.
and then she asked Madison Harnish, aka Cruel World Happy Mind, was she homeschooled? And then they say, ah, got it. You mean the YouTuber Madison Harnish of Cruel World Happy Mind? After checking bios, videos, and searches, I found no info indicating she was homeschooled. Her education background isn't publicly detailed. If that's wrong, point me to a source. Like trying to find my schooling information.
To be fair, I don't
all
think
of
that's
that.
what she was trying to do. I think she was
Okay,
just trying to find out if you were homeschooled.
Yeah, you know how it kind of looks, though. You know,
But like you would
And
type
so-
something like that into. I know what you're saying, and I don't want to go anywhere close
Yeah, yeah.
to doxing. I know she's
Yeah.
thoughtful with her the way she conducts herself though. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I mean-
that wasn't her intention.
Yeah, it just it looks a it
Why does it matter if you're homeschooled, Madison? Is it because you don't want people to know you're homeschooled because you do not live in the same reality as the rest of us? Could that be why?
rubs me the wrong way, to be honest.
I can understand why that
Oh,
would-
that rubs me the wrong way. They wanted to find out if I was homeschooled or not. Well, something's got to explain the absolute terrible takes that you have right now. But I still could fix you, Madison. I'm just saying.
rub
that
you the
tweet.
wrong way. Yeah.
But yeah, so you
I
know,
can teach you the
Some
ways.
of those things, my aunt's photos being dug through, stuff like that. People trying to find information about.
And
my
I did not take the Lord's name in vain, okay? I said God. I didn't say, oh, God. I just said God.
husband.
up.
It's like,
Yeah, that's
you know,
totally fucked
I totally, you know, I've been more paranoid in this past week than I've been in my entire life. So I understand.
Well, whose fault's that, Madison? Whose fault's that? Who's the one who had the idea to go and do a hit piece on one of the most popular creators online? It wasn't me. It was you. So you only have yourself to blame there.
that feeling, again, you know.
By the way, the
that-
homeschool
that's-
thing, maybe it sounds weirder to you. There's kind of like a joke that we do on the show where we go, like the last two people I've beefed with, quote unquote, were all homeschooled. So it kind of turned into a joke, like, is this person
It is like-
homeschooled?
you
So I
know,
think
to be
she was
completely
tapping into
transparent.
that.
You know, to be completely transparent, I grew up doing like really, really intense ballet. I was like, you know,
Okay, that explains a lot. So she was homeschooled. Oh my God, is she about to admit she was homeschooled?
basically like dancing 6 hours a day. So I did online school.
You were
dual-
home.
She was homeschooled. Let's freaking go, boys. Yeah, let's go. God, you can tell. You can just tell with these girls. I tell you what, boys. You take one talking damn and they the homeschooled kind. You know what I'm saying? Doing 6 hours of ballet, she should have done 3 hours of ballet, 3 hours of homework. Cause damn, she don't know jack shit about nothing.
school. So, you know, I don't know if that applies, you know.
So she was
It
spitting
like one of
kind of.
Yes, she was homeschooled. Online classes is being homeschooled, Madison. No wonder you are like the way you are. Okay, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
one of the first, you know, programs in my area that like had
That's funny.
online school.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think it's
is
just-
where I met my husband. So, you know.
You met your husband on online school? Jesus Christ, dude. What the...
You met your husband at homeschool?
Well, so we
Dude, thank you. I was gonna say, was that like, is anybody else picking that up? What is he, your brother? Oh my God. Did their best man... Never mind, that's a mean joke. I can't do that.
actually met in middle school, and I thought he was super interesting because he would like ride his bike every day, and it was in Orange County where like, you know, everyone has like their moms drive them to school in Escalades, and he would ride his bike every day, and I was kind of like,
Badass.
oh, that's, you know, that's kind of interesting. It turns out he would ride
Oh my God, he rides a bike, dude. That's all it took. It's all it took to get Madison Harnish was ride your bike to school, guys. Meanwhile, EG said ladder instead of latter in a recent tweet. Did I? I thought I was saying it right. It's not the latter. It's the latter. The later. I don't freaking know. I don't care. I'll live with it.
his bike 9 miles every day to school
Wow.
and back, and then
9
you know, we
miles?
both ended up
Damn.
being the only two to graduate high school from our dual online school program.
Oh
it
my
was a
God.
very, you know, successful program. It seems like.
Look at you
from
two,
that.
born natural partner.
And so, you know,
So they're both delusional. No wonder. So he's never gonna be able to fix her. He's never gonna be able to fix her. She's doomed, guys.
or just, you know, the only ones that knew how to like use Google.
Wait, didn't you say she got divorced, Phallic? Yeah, I thought it was ladder, right? It is. It's ladder now, right? I prefer the ladder, like the next one, right?
test online school. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. But I'm kidding. Don't take away my online degree. That's very important to me. But yeah, so.
Oh, apparently, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's how we met, and we went to online school for very different reasons. I was a ballet dancer, and his is his own personal story.
You,
But yeah.
you might get comfort in this, but the current debate happening in our community is which stain is more annoying, the one on your sofa or the one on my hat? And I'll tell you guys, to defend myself a little bit, the one on my hat is from.
All right, I think that's it. I don't think that we're gonna get anything else out of this. Did she? Where's the one where she talked? Did she already talk about his dog? Hassan's dog, where she wouldn't, admit that Hassan shocked his dog. I don't know. I don't care. But all right. Well, I think that went a little longer than I expected it to. So this is an ongoing story. I definitely think I'm going to do a video out of this. It's really not ladder. But it's cute. Y'all think it so? See, everybody thinks it's ladder. It's not ladder. Latter. What is latter? What's a latter? Uphill both ways. Yeah. But anyway, I got some editing I got to do, guys, so I can't stay too late tonight. But thank you guys so much. Hi. I forgot her name all of a sudden. Hi, Spies. Hi, Spies. Yeah. I didn't even have to look it up. I just remembered it. Hi, Spies. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. Always fun to see new names in the chat. Anybody else who's new here, thank you guys. I appreciate you. We do this, at least the live stream, once a day, Monday through Friday. Typically, I haven't been able to make the last 2 Fridays, so I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. But I get so busy. Trying to edit all these videos and stuff. So, I was gonna say barefoot in the snow. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna do a video connecting these 2 stories. Why not? I mean, who better to do it than me, right? I'm the only person who's got juice in both of these stories to talk about. So Madison's gonna hate me by the time I'm done here, though. I promise you that. And that's not what I wanted, Madison. I never wanted that for us. I didn't, And I thought you said she was divorced, Phallic, but she refers to him her husband. So. Thanks for the laughs, everyone. Hope that you guys had a good time. Daniel's crew, if you're still watching, I hope that we somehow made your time at the hospital better. That is definitely a cum stain, too, by the way. TikTok, thank you for not kicking me off the internet tonight. That's pretty dope of you guys to do that. And thank you for the roses and the, what is this, like a grocery? A level up thing? Thank you. Thank you for the ice cream, too, Timey and Draco. You guys are great. So we're going to say goodbye to TikTok first. Bye, TikTok. All right, TikTok's down. And now I can say goodbye to the ones that matter, YouTube. So, my YouTube people, what can I say? You are my bread and butter. You are my favorite people in the whole world. YouTube is where my home is, and I hope that I don't ever get kicked out of here. 19 people watching currently right now. Thank you, guys. Please come back in the future, because I know half of y'all mofos leave. But we're going to talk about more H3H3 stuff for sure. We're going to talk about more Madison, Savannah connection. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. But with that said, guys, I got to go edit. And I got to go take care of my kid, because there's a lot going on that I can't really talk about on here that maybe one day I'll open up about. But right now I got to go make sure she's okay, because she's going through a lot because of her mom. So that's all I'm going to say. I shouldn't even have said that. That's already too much. All right, I got to go. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Love y'alls.